This is exactly what I have been waiting for. Get your seatbelts on, because we ended up getting new Battlefield 2042 gameplay, and the big homie Westy, he's gonna break it down. He's not effing around here. And sadly, we do have some bad news. Like, EA just came out, they confirmed it. We're gonna actually dive into that story as well. I'm telling you, man, if you play on the PlayStations, the Sony ponies, the Xbox, the Xboxes, get your seatbelts on, okay? Or we're gonna get right into it. Smash the like button if you're picking up this game.
Battlefield 2042 gameplay
November
for
12th,
you coming
November
today
19th.
from Nvidia, a PC gameplay trailer. As I say, just a few snippets of gameplay interspersed with cinematics that we've seen from other trailers, but we get a look at what the game is going to look like visually with what I'm guessing are ultra or very high graphical settings. And we get a look at a couple of maps that we haven't seen yet either, as well as a change to Jisoo Pike's scanning wallhack ability. So stay tuned for that. First clip, really short, one inside the scrap of the ship on the discarded map before the huge metal side panel is then blown open. The visuals here do look very clean, the lighting is great, and we get to see maybe Sundance's Tier 1 specialist skin.
Yo, we about to get Tier 5, Tier 10. This is gonna be nutty. Let me know how you feel about it.
Metal doors, they crash down. Moving on to another clip, and we get a look at a brand new weapon. We think this is the Marlin lever action rifle. Likely that's going to sit in the tactical rifle category alongside the DM7, or maybe it'll be considered a sniper with some longer range optics.
Probably not.
Hard to say for certain if this is the Marlin lever action rifle, since there's no HUD in any of the trailer, but
maybe.
It's really not that long for us to wait now until the game launches, and we'll know for sure what this weapon is.
We're like, what, like 2 weeks or something? Like 2 weeks, right?
With Pike as the specialist. And here we get to see a somewhat nerfed version, or I guess you can just say changed version of the scanner ability that sent the community just into meltdown last week. Now it appears that the scanner sends out a pulse that is briefly illuminating enemies in a red outline before removing it and then sending out another pulse. This is a marked difference from the specialist trailer that we saw the other day.
I don't know, man. Like, let me know how you feel about this. Personally, I like, it doesn't matter what game it is. I just don't like whenever the enemies are highlighted like that. Unless it's like a detective game or whatever. Whenever like you highlight an enemy, like in Call of Duty or Battlefield, like any FPS game, it just kind of breaks immersion. One, if you're fine with that. Two, if you're like me, where I mean, I'm gonna cope. I mean, damn.
Where the pulse only revealed enemies who were in cover, and then kept them illuminated for almost the entire duration of the scan if they stayed in cover, although if you broke the cover, then the red outline would go away. I do prefer this iteration of the effect, but honestly still, I just think DICE would be better off removing this and implementing some kind of like last known location ping on the minimap when you activate the scan, that then stays on the minimap for a few seconds and will let you know if there's enemy players in the area, and then you can go and find them and try and kill them. That would give the player valuable information, but it wouldn't be a full-blown wall hack. And I will say that there is still a battery indicator for the scan, which isn't fully depleted by the end of the clip after the second pulse that we get to see on the screen. So I think there's probably enough battery there to send out maybe 3 or 4 pulses before it...
3 or 4 pulses? Wait, what?
Way too powerful, if that is the case. And it will need to be nerfed to just 1 or 2.
Yo, cut that. Yo, EA, you gotta make it like 0.5 or something. God damn, 3, 4? Like, what are you smoking?
2 pulses, if this is the final version that DICE go with. We've not had any official communication about any changes to the specialist, but I guess we kind of just have to go on what we're seeing, and this is definitely different from what we saw the other day. Besides that, though,
3, 4,
we are on the lush green area of Kaleidoscope in the middle of all those skyscrapers. It does look quite interesting. Definitely, it's going to provide some infantry-focused areas with all those trees and bushes, and maybe vehicles can look in from the roads on the outside and provide some firepower. And then next, we get some gameplay on the Manifest map. Some people were saying this is orbital, but if you look in the distance, you'll see the giant shipping container yard, and then further out, you get to see that massive sea wall, and we're in the middle of some kind of gigantic storm here, which is a core component of the Manifest map, I think, because it's all about the rising sea levels, which is why there's a seawall, and if there's a storm, well, then maybe the water comes over. Could be something quite interesting. The trailer here does have a lower frame rate, Now, this is part of the trailer.
Okay, listen, man, listen. So this is where I thought this was fake, all right? I thought this was fake because there's a comment. If I can find it, I will show you in just a bit. But there was a guy who said that like this game is running at 30 FPS with ray tracing. I thought people were joking around. But okay, if the big homie Vesty is gonna mention that, I mean, ooh.
Where Nvidia are pushing ray traced ambient occlusion, which is different from normal ray tracing, I think, and isn't something that was available in previous Battlefield games like Battlefield 5. And I guess that's the reason why we're seeing a lower frame rate, because to do ray traced ambient occlusion, that's going to be pretty heavy on the GPU. You're going to be processing stuff in real time, but again, there's not really a huge amount of information here, so we don't know if it's just, I don't know, low FPS because the graphics are so high, or if we are actually watching ray-traced ambient occlusion gameplay, which would give us the answer.
Personally, I just want to play the game at 60 FPS. Like, I don't care for like 200 billion FPS. I don't care for like the FOV being like that, like 200 FOV, whatever. Like, you can say I got no standards.
A brief look at the renewal map again,
I just want to play
out by the solar farm in the desert from a vehicle perspective. It does look pretty cool. It's kind of giving me Operation Firestorm vibes from Battlefield 3. That was one of my favorite maps from that game. Maybe there's some kind of similarity here, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the desert setting, but it's not a map that we've seen featured in too much gameplay, at least of the desert area. We did get to see inside the renewal plant and inside the buildings the other day, but we hadn't seen desert gameplay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, get your seatbelts on, okay? Get your seatbelts on. And first of all, I just want to say, I know some of you will say, Skizzle, you got no expectations, you got no standards. And to be honest, bro, like, I have waved the white flag. Gaming has been disappointing, so I'm just trying to cope. That you can say I'm just trying to cope, but earlier, like, this was the comment I read, okay? I thought this was just fake, you know, or the homie was just wilding out, maybe just joking around and whatnot. Says that I like how at some point the performance drops to 30 FPS. Obviously, they got ray tracing, so it's a little bit understandable, but damn. Check this out. So we got the homie over at Modern Warzone, a little bit biased, I agree. Says that more bad news for Battlefield 2042 ahead of its launch later this month. No
120Hz support for any consoles at launch. DICE Dev on the Reset Era forums has stated they are hammering the CPUs with 128 players quite severely already.
Damn, quite severely, and we apparently got the receipts out here because a man says that, can you tell us any information about 120Hz support? Will there be? And they said that's something to explore in post-launch. Damn. Now, I personally am okay with it, like, as long as the game is 1080p, 60 FPS, bugs-free, good content. That's it, man. That's all I want, okay? But I do get it that there are homies out there that got mad. I mean, there are some people say that who legitimately expected. We got the shout out to the homies for adding me in the situation, and there are some people like, hey man, I don't know, but how you feel about it, let me know. Shout out to all these homies for becoming a member on the channel, especially John. He rejoined the membership 4 days ago, and shout out to everybody right here on the screen. Let me know your thoughts. Click on this video on the screen, and I will see you right there. Just click it, okay?